Okay, so we're in the second session now of Ravers having completed sets. You just come off. How you feeling? What's the vibe? How did you feel up there?
A combination of many intense and wonderful things.
Yeah.
A lot of stress, but good stress, not negative stress. I think a lot of adrenaline, a lot of energy. Um, Playing an earlier slot is always a cool thing because it's, especially if you've been in the scene for a while, it's challenging, especially if you don't play opening sets often. And I very happily welcome that challenge because sort of people are walking onto the floor, they're not exactly sure what they want yet. Some people are high energy, some are mid, so you sort of need to cater to everybody. You need to be able to be versatile and test to see what works and what gets the people a bit more dancing, what's not sort of driving them away, but what makes them, like be mellow and like what gets the energy high. So I think the first half was a big challenge for me. I haven't done that in a long time, especially in such a big space. It also makes you stress a bit more.
Yeah, 100%. Like if at least in the later slots, you've got so like people around you. There's gonna be like half the crowd that is like feeding off that vibe, and half the crowd that's like, okay, cool, we here anyway, let's jaw. But I think, dude, you nailed that aspect that you were talking about. As you said, that first half of like just sussing it out and being like, okay, it's a little bit earlier, but how do I get people inside? How do I play with that vibe? And as you said, emotional, and I think you absolutely nailed it, dude.
Thank
so
you.
one of the questions I have for you, and especially being a promoter yourself,
Yes.
what is the one thing that as a promoter you put the most effort into that makes the most difference in your experience?
I'd say on my side, number one is a balance between community, just making sure everybody feels safe, welcome, not judged, and sound. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm very extremely strict about sound and sound quality. I mean, you do what you can with the budget that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm very finicky about that, even to the point where sometimes the other guys on the team might be okay with it, and I'll just be like, no, sorry, this was on point, but sorry, this and that, like, it's not gonna come. And they're like,
Yeah.
but it was like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
like, I'm very strict. I'm very strict about sound quality and balance. There needs to be a lot, especially drum and bass. There needs to, I mean, it should be drum and bass, not drum.
Yeah, no.
You want a lot of stuff, but also your mids and your tops. You want high fidelity and you want balance. That is very important.
Okay. I think I resonate with that a lot because, and especially when you said about community, I feel like with drum and bass, it's pretty much what we've got going for us is the fact that like we're all here because we love the music. It's our best asset. So I think being a promoter in that scene, you feel that same vibe as well.
Yeah, no, but the drum and bass community in itself is by a large margin, the most supportive community. They are. You can just, like, when we launched our first party, and this had nothing to do with me, just the community, we had like pretty much a full floor for our first party, and that it has so little to do with us, and so much that people see a new drum and bass party and they just like, yes, and they just go, and like people just go. They're not. I've never seen a proper fight at any DNB rave, and I've been to a lot of DNB raves.
100%.
There's so little snootiness, so little snobbiness. It's just overall like, and I've got a strong theory for that is you cannot look elegant while dancing to drum and bass. You have to
100%,
grunge.
dude.
You have to send it. You can't stand there and look pretty and have all your all your fake talents and things. You need to just be in the moment.
100%. And you can see it when like I knew a mate who came to a rave and she was there and like she's like dancing with her friend, not facing the DJ, kind of just being like, oh yeah, like trying to look at other people who's looking at us. Are we giving attention? And like you can just everyone around them just like what are you doing here? You're not from here.
It's such a conditioned mindset because that's what like a lot of the more commercial music genres and places they have that in place. It's about the vibe. Like a vibe is great, but it's about the vibe. How many people are there? How much money are they spending? How pretty are they?
Yeah.
If you in those type of parties, you get there, it's empty, you leave. Here, you get here, and if it's empty and you go and you dance and you wait until more people are here.
Yeah.
Like I've had that countless times. Like when we used to host Back at Truth, then all the other floors would open, they'd be empty, and then 10 minutes before we open, I would have a crowd of 20 dancers sitting on the floor waiting, and then I'm like, you guys know we're only opening in 10 minutes, and they're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know, we've been waiting. Yeah, dude, like, come on.
But I think it's also, it goes both ways. On the one hand, it is your responsibility to educate yourself about music and about like proper values. And you can learn that in certain scenes. But also on the other hand, it is a very society conditioned thing.
Sure.
You know, society conditions you very much to focus on what other people think of me and how much money do I have and how much can I impress other people. I think that plays into every day of your life. So a lot of those people, you know, that's why when they come into this scene, first they're comfortable, but then they start to love it because now they realize, wait, I've been lied to my whole life. I can just be here. I can just be here, be me, talk to people who are also themselves, and just enjoy the night without worrying about what people are thinking of me.
It's just such a weight off everyone's shoulders when you can just be here and be yourself.
Yeah.
It is. If a zombie apocalypse were breaking out during your set, which one of your mates would you team up with first?
Okay.
You only get one.
Okay, but does this need to be somebody in the drum and bass scene? Let me not say scene. Does it need to be somebody that is known? Does it need to be another DJ?
No, it doesn't. It can be anyone, but they have to be someone that would be probably at your set because it's the zombies are coming in. They are chowing O's. So, you got 10 of your mates. Who's that one bro or lady?
Okay, well, his name is Vota. He's always with me at every set that he can be here. He lives a bit far away, but he's always really can be. Mans is like a fully professionally trained fighter. So,
yes.
Nicest guy in the world. He will not start any violence out of himself. Really chill dude, but I always feel safe when he's around.
Okay, so he'll push that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like he'll be fast and efficient. So
dope. Okay, and then there's you, and then you can just be all bouncer there, dude.
Yes.
Okay, vibes. Okay, another fun one. If you were stranded on a deserted island and could only keep one piece of equipment with you, would you choose a smoke machine just to keep the vibe alive?
As a drum and bass raver, I would rather go with a laser.
Laser.
If it's night, I can still see the laser. I can't see the smoke.
And I guess you can point it towards the ocean and be like, "Someone, please."
You see, I didn't even think of that. My mind is on the vibes, but you see, double faceted. So
that's why you're here, bro. Okay,
drum and bass is not drum and bass without a laser for me. Okay, well, it is, but I mean,
a very, very important question. DJ to DJ. To sync or not to sync?
So, yeah, I think I've got a pretty cool opinion on this.
Okay.
I think in modern day drum and bass, especially where you don't have drums in your intros, or I'll speak from my experience, I try to not do it wherever possible. That's more to keep sharpening up my skill. I think when you are mixing at the level like somebody that Headaches is, or somebody where you are playing literally four tunes and you're mixing one song every 25 seconds, you don't have time to beat match. I'm sorry. And especially when there are 4 songs, there's no way you're going to hear it. There's no way you're going to... And when you're on such high-risk stakes and such a big rig, you can't be making beat match mistakes.
100%.
So either, I don't know if they use full sync, but what I'll do a lot of times is if I just got it missing and I'm in a very high-pressure, quick situation, I'll just quickly tap the sync on and off just to get the drums there. And then I know that stress is off my shoulders. And instead of putting that sort of stress on me about, no, I have to beat match to be a good DJ, otherwise people are going to judge me. That's a bunch of bullshit. The reason why you should be able to beat match is, i.e., you record box a tune, it's beat gridded wrong, you bring them in, now you press sync, now it can't sync, and now you don't know how to beat match, and then everything completely fucks up. So you have to. That's why I say you have to be able to beat match to be able to save yourself if the software fails. But I feel like especially modern day drum and bass where there's no drums, there's only melodic intros, sort of vocals and stuff. I feel like it's totally fine.
Yeah, because you don't have that beat. In the beginning,
there is nothing for you to beat match on.
Exactly.
Until maybe half into the intro, a few drums come on. But once again, if you're mixing 3-4 tunes at a time, then you don't then have the time to now. You're focusing on getting this tune in and hitting your cue points. You don't have time to now listen and do this, and then you miss the thing. That's happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
When I sort of focus too much on the beat matching, and then you miss your cue point. Now you start stressing. Now I bring it another time, and then you just start making mistakes.
Yeah, dude.
So anything to sort of just relieve the stress that is still you should be able to beat match. But that doesn't mean that you should not be sync.